then the crucial question to be asked by David Beers in our final round.
By consensus of the panel, it's 20 years from now in Vancouver. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you noticed it. We were doing this under the table because we didn't want people to see what we were saying. So it's 20 years from now in Vancouver. If your vision for the city succeeds, what's the big change everyone will be talking about, and what makes it obvious?
What's the big change that people will be talking about in 20 years if your vision succeeds, and what makes it obvious? I'm going to start this round, 2 minutes for each candidate, and we're going to start this round with Mr. Chris Straw. Or do you want to, Chris, you want to go?
We've actually decided that we're going to take the time to talk about the real issues out there and talk about Occupy Vancouver. The three of us have been involved in organizing at Occupy Vancouver. And it's not about winning, and it's not about winning and losing. I know that myself and Aaron are running to inject issues into the campaign. It's not about winning or losing for us, and I think it's the same for Chris.
So what kind of world do we want to see 20 years from now? There was a beautiful little girl who sang an amazing song at the art gallery yesterday, and her name was Takaya, and the song was called World Revolution. And she was singing about the generations to come and what she wants for her generation and for our generation now too. So if we really believe in 7 generations out, the world that we're going to live in 20 years is a world where we've controlled development, where we have made it a really sustainable, livable city, where democracy is coming up from the bottom up, not top down, and where we have security for everybody in this city, not just the 1% who run it now.
Okay, Lauren, you want to go next? Or Aaron, okay, Aaron.
Well, I'd like to echo a lot of the statements that have been made by the people that are on the stage with me, as well as a number of other people that have spoken today. You know, I mean, we just need to take a look at history to see where we need to go. And when we take a look at history, we got a very clear picture of where we are headed and how damaging that's going to be for the entire world. You know, basically, think about the term human resources and think about what that means, right? I mean, they're mining us. They're mining us for money. As wealth continues to rise on a day-to-day basis for what has been colloquially called the 1%, people are starving in the streets. We saw an economic crisis that saw a drastic increase in billionaires, where poverty levels are skyrocketing, and that's and we need to be drawing it to a bigger picture. And it's not just this city, it's not just this province, it's not just this country. It's a worldwide movement, and that's what needs to be taking place. So if in 20 years from now I took a look at my city and saw something that was positive, what I would be looking at is I would be looking at forums like this where everybody actually has a vote and has a voice, where there isn't reserved seats for candidates, where there isn't a spot where we're the ones that are talking, but that everybody here is talking. And we're talking about real things that matter to real human beings, because at the end of the day, we're all people, we're all working people. None of us are, you know, fabulously wealthy, making money off the backs of other people. And we need to recognize that it's our common humanity that unites us. So.
Lauren Gill.
So I just want to talk about some of the issues that we're facing out there. I just want to say that BC has the highest child poverty rate for I think it's the 8th year in a row. We're the only G8 nation without a national social housing program. When the NPA was in, there was, you know, the Project Civil City that was implemented, where poor people were criminalized on a daily basis. And we're seeing it right here with the tents being erected and the bylaw being enforced around erecting tents when the city won't even provide shelter for the people. So I also just want to echo, I don't really want to get into, you can vote for me, sure. And if I get elected, yeah, I will work my ass off for you. But I really think that my power and your power lies in the streets, and it lies in holding the politicians accountable and attending the city council hearings. I mean, we are the people who hold the power in the city. You see it at Occupy Vancouver. They haven't moved in yet. Why? Because we hold more power than they do. And I also just want to, if we can, Ashley was a friend of mine who passed away last night, and I was just wondering if it could be possible if we could all just take a moment of silence to recognize Ashley, because Ashley's why we're here. Ashley's why we're camping out. Ashley's why, you know, things need to change in this world. She was 22 years old. I'm 22 years old, and you know, I've known her since she was 17. She's the last person that I thought that we would lose, and we lost her last night. So if we could all just take a moment of silence, that'd be great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Panel, they kind of went over your head there. How do you feel about that? I mean, do you feel thwarted?
Feel occupied.
Yeah. Well said. You know, folks, it's been a lot of fun. It is a shame that we do have to pick a winner, and I'm sure that our final trio doesn't really feel like this is rock, paper, scissors, a big one. But we're going to do it the traditional way to choose our final winner, and then after that, we're going to have a special guest to crown our winners. So let me start with your support for Lauren Gill. It's a high bar, all right. Your support for Chris Shaw. And finally, Aaron Spires. That is a tough one. I think the panel will back me up when I say that I think our winner for last candidate standing this year is Lauren Gill. Listen, we got a special guest here. We did this, a few years ago, and there was a winner. And as you know, that winner has been a tyrant and a dictator ever since, ruling every aspect, every facet of our lives. And that winner was Jerry Tomatola. Tomatola. And now I'm going to be hung by my thumbs and by the time. So come on up, Jerry, and crown our new winner for last candidate standing. Jerry Tomatola. Lauren Gill, your last candidate standing.